This is basically for a Coed Glas radio. We do it every 2 weeks, and we usually do lots of stuff like what's going on in sports and interviews. And this week we're going to interview you, so thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We're very lucky today to have a special guest with us. Coleman was appointed as the new Wales football manager earlier this year. Welcome to Coed Glas, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Can you give our listeners any idea of what you've been doing here today?
Yes, we've been travelling around many different parts of Wales in the last 3 or 4 months, meeting lots of children, and we're doing some shows in the evenings, some road shows, meeting the Welsh public, trying to explain what our ideas are for Wales, the football team, the national team. And also just been travelling around schools, speaking with lots of children about my experience as a football player, as a manager, and what my life was like as a young child. So, and I've had a very, very nice welcome today. I've looked forward to it and I've enjoyed it.
You were appointed as the Wales football manager in January. What did you feel like when you found out you had the job?
I was very honoured and happy. Because to manage your country is obviously something special, but I was also very sad because of the circumstances in which the job became available. Cardiff was a good friend of mine, and so I was very sad at the time because of the whole situation, and of course very honoured to have the opportunity to be the manager of my company.
Do you think the job would be a challenge?
I think the job would be a huge challenge. Maybe one of my toughest, but I'm looking forward to it, and we've got the opportunity to do something a little bit special if we qualify for Brazil in 2014. I'm looking forward to working with our players. We've got a lot of good players, so I think it will be a huge challenge, but one I'm going to relish.
Do you think Wales will have a good season?
Yes, I do. I think if we can keep the majority of our players fit, and then available to play, then I think we can have a very good season. It won't be easy, like I said earlier, because we've got some tough games coming up, but those are always the best games you want to be involved in as a player and a manager, against the best teams, to test yourself. So we're looking forward to it, but I think we've got big possibilities.
What are your plans for the team?
The plans for the team are we need to have a good start against Belgium in September. Belgium are probably the favourites of the group, but you know, when we play in the first game in Wales at home, and if we can generate a real good atmosphere, and we can have a good performance, and if we get 3 points, then that's be very important carrying us forward into the remaining qualifying games. So the first game you have, you're going to, you know, there'll be a little bit of nerves flying about, and that's normal. But the quicker we get settled into it, and if we can get off to a good start, a good performance, and a win, you know, that will, I think that will see us nice and tidy for the game after that.
How did you become a football manager?
Well, I was at Fulham as a player, then I was the coach when I was 32, and our manager lost his job, and with 5 games remaining in the season, I was given what is called as the caretaker manager's job, which means you're not the manager for the long term, really. You're just only there until the club appoints a new manager. And I got it for 5 games at the end of one season, and those 5 games went very, very well. So then the chairman of Fulham at the time, who was still the chairman, Mohammed Al-Fayad, gave it to me on a permanent basis. So that's how I got into management.
When you were a child, did you ever imagine that you would become a football manager?
I never imagined I'd become a football manager. I never dreamed about that. I only dreamed about being a football player. And even when I was playing, because you think it's going to last forever, you're playing days, and nothing lasts forever, but because you enjoy it so much, you think it's going to go on and on and on. So, and as you get towards the end of your career, a lot more players start thinking about what they're going to do after they finish playing football. And that was certainly the case with me.
What's the best thing about your job?
The best thing about my job is working with the players and building building training sessions and building the team and preparing them ready for the game. And then when the game comes around and everything you've worked on, you see the players trying to do that, trying to carry all your philosophy and your information and trying to implement that, trying to do it in the game on Saturday and winning. And when your plan comes together, that's very fulfilling and it's an amazing feeling. However, on the other side, when it doesn't work and you lose, that's not a very nice feeling. So, but yeah, I would say when everything comes together and everything you've worked on, you start getting results, start winning games, and you see players progressing and playing well. That's very pleasing.
Thank you for the interview, Chris. It's been a pleasure to have you at Coed Glas.
And let me say thank you to you guys for giving me a wonderful welcome. You've been very well mannered and behaved, and you've asked some wonderful questions. Maybe I'll see you soon at one of the Welsh games, I hope. So thank you guys also.
Thank you very much.
Well done, you've been very, very professional. Really professional. Well done. A few people out of the job there. Hey, watch yourself, sir. I know.